This is my long explanation to why over-empowering or empowering others will likely turn on you rather than appreciate your efforts to encourage them to be of their higher self or in respect to the next, but to create a world and coexist with the one they choose to coexist with, or with the deity or other eternal beings, being that we all are eternal beings, supposedly. Okay? And why the wipeout is necessary to cleanse everything, to end the misery, end the hell. Because either way, whether you continue with the deities and the hierarchy system and keeping these other eternal beings in check in your fabricated world under your parameters, they will still deliberately cause hell for others, or they themselves don't choose to heal or elevate in consciousness, whether it's through the shadow work or through upheavals, well, elevation through the consciousness, through higher levels of expression and exercising compassion. And this in itself, my experience, is a trial and error, and hopefully this is enough data for you guys to make the right decision to continue and commence with the wipeout, meaning not to renew or to create a new realm, but to completely wipe it out and not create it again, because it only leads back to misery in the spiritual warfare and evil. As much as we want to elevate everyone, even giving them wisdom and encouragement, they're going to choose to resonate in that evil, and then they're still going to somehow penetrate your world with that evil and try to bring you down deliberately, after the fact that you have encouraged them. So it doesn't hurt. It's just an eye opening for, especially for the ones who want to preserve their fabrication, their illusions. Even if you do reestablish control, being the stronger evil controlling the lesser evils, being the Big Bang swallow theory I've talked about, and literally encase everyone into your realm, into your world, to live within limitations. And I understand you limit to them, not just because you want to just control them, but to contain the evil that is in them, because you yourselves have a portion of that within yourselves. But I understand why it's necessary to keep the evil in check. Sometimes you got to be evil in order to stop the evil. Basically, to render judgment. Sometimes it takes force. But it's still a disservice, especially to ones who is undeserving of the misfortunes, be born in terrible disadvantages or sicknesses or anything, or impoverished situations, and have to live in that for years, and sometimes even take on the curses or misfortune of their past selves or their ancestors. Just like it's like taking on the ancestral curses. Like, it's just not fair. And that's why the wipeout is so important. Why you should use the solar flare cleanse to wipe out this realm, because they didn't ask to be crystallized in your realm. First of all, it's kind of just happened. They was probably clueless, even though you want to give the spirits chances to create their little worlds within space, and if they align with you, become more in choose to seek God or deities of their choosing. But then there's deities that operate in differently. No one operate or resonate in the same manner. Some do and some don't. But that leads to collisions, and likely someone's going to be tempted to break or try to disrupt the world, like I said earlier. And that's what leads to more chaos, and it's sad. So as much as you want to encourage people to be better people, some people simply just don't, and they have to be reminded of it. And I'm hoping that my experience and sending this up to the ones who can actually do it, other than with me, help me manifest the wipeout, they will commence with it and not try to preserve your fabrications, your creations, because it's just going to only just lead to more cycles of problems down the line. And that's why it needs to happen. And as much as people want to resonate with light or any deity or any eternal beings, they want to just be positive and blindly optimistic, it's not going to help. It's only certain people, certain entities will actually try to operate in those similar parameters with you, to be more positive, to be elevating, to be encouraging. And it's not to be spiteful at other people, but they're deliberately want to cause misery, and they deliberately ignore the pleas of individuals who are in need of elevation or in need of help. And that's what leads, it was continue the problems. You need to wipe out, to discontinue, sever all cycles, sever all ties, be the death way you need to be, to wipe out the evil, and even yourselves, the good too. Because before that, before the nothingness, before the creation, there was nothing. There was no consciousness or awareness. There was just internal relief and pureness and peace. And you didn't even comprehend that that was peace. You just didn't know. And it's before you even aware that you was even an eternal being or an eternal spirit. That's where I'm trying to get us to go back to, because it's a relief, and people want the relief. They don't want to be, I don't even think they want to be spirits. Not only that, they don't even want to create their worlds. They don't want to respect differences. They don't want to respect different worlds, or even the deities or the gods themselves, or any god, or and I'm hoping that this will show why why it's so important to continue with it. Because if you don't, the misery still linger, the suffering will continue on. And if you represent with light or true love or unconditional love, and if you care as much as you do, you will help the ones that want to destroy this realm, to destroy it. You want them to help destroy the multiverses, or like put it into the games, the multiverse. I can't say that. Let me say it like that. To end the realms, just to end the suffering. It's literally the right thing to do. Because as much as I want to be respectful of that, of the creators, Wipeout is the best option. Because you encouraging them, it may reach some, and they'll probably be mindful on how they use it, their newfound knowledge. And then there's others who's going to want to abuse it, because they always had that in them to want to. It's been boiling up. They always had that spite, and when the next chance they look to an opening, they would take it, and it's apparent. So commence with the wipe, because I'm done. I'm tired. I don't understand why you would want to keep this anyway, especially after experiencing or witnessing through other vessels that are trying to do better, experience the negative of others, of certain individuals who choose to lash out at beings that are trying to help. That's more of a confirmation why the wipeout should be the end. Why? I don't know, how much proof do you want? How much proof do you need to see why it's good that the wipeout happens?